work and I toil, when I sow in the soil I reap. I plant and I build and I tend to the fields and I sleep. Wealth I have gained, I've acquired some fame, but I grieve. Adventures I seek, I indulge in all things, but I still weep.
Hello and welcome to a new series presenting 5 themes found in the biblical book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is part of what is sometimes called the wisdom literature in the Old Testament, alongside other writings including Proverbs and Job. There are 2 voices in the text. Firstly, there is an anonymous author who introduces and summarises the book and also presents to us the words and works of the second character, one known as the teacher. The teacher is also presented as a son or descendant of King David, which has led some to believe the teacher is King Solomon. Either way, it is the voice of this royal philosopher and thinker that we hear in the main body of the text. The first of the 5 sets of themes in Ecclesiastes we will touch on this week are wisdom and knowledge. And our reading related to this will be recited by John Simmons.
Wisdom and folly. I, the teacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. I devoted myself to study and to explore by wisdom all that is done under heaven. What a heavy burden God has laid on men! I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is twisted cannot be straightened. What is lacking cannot be counted. I thought to myself, look, I have grown and increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I have experienced much of wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom and also of madness and folly. But I learnt that this too is a chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief.
A question. In your opinion, would a greater knowledge of the world and a greater understanding of the way things are likely lead us to greater levels of joy and comfort or greater levels of grief and sadness? This may sound like an odd statement, but I find the book of Ecclesiastes refreshingly depressing. This is what I mean. As I ponder on some of the things happening in our world at this time, and on what is the reality for many millions of people, I imagine that for masses of folk, life does seem like a heavy burden. In the book of Ecclesiastes, these people would find an individual who clearly at times feels the same way. There is an obvious and high level of suffering in our world, and if we give any attention at all to the news, we all get to witness it. It can be hard to watch. It must be horrible to experience. We do not need to go into details about specific examples. We could all reel them off. But the prevalence of war and famine and disease and disaster is stark, and it's significant, and it is deeply saddening. Perhaps it should be. Perhaps it should get us down. Perhaps that would demonstrate we cared. One of the things I like about the book of Ecclesiastes is that it paints a picture of a person trying to wrestle with some of the painful realities of existence and discover some kind of meaning to it all, and they have struggled to do so. I wonder if any of you feel the same way. The Hebrew word hevel, often translated into English as meaningless or vanity or futility or pointless, is used 38 times in Ecclesiastes. It is as if, despite years of trying to get knowledge and wisdom so that he can work out life, to quote the U2 song, he still hasn't found what he's looking for. I wonder if any of you feel the same way. Now, it needs to be said that the teacher in Ecclesiastes is not always consistent in his views on a topic. Having described the pursuit of wisdom as meaningless, he later states, "I saw that wisdom is better than folly, just as light is better than darkness." Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. A person's wisdom brightens their face and changes its hard appearance. Writing about the book of Ecclesiastes, the scholar, teacher and author David Pawson said, "It is written in the style of a man presiding over a debate that is going on in his mind. Like every good speaker, he allows the pros and cons to be given equal opportunity. So the motion that life is not worth living is followed by a motion proclaiming it is." It is almost as if, as he is thinking things through, on some issues he can't quite make up his mind what he thinks. He can't quite work it out. I wonder if any of you feel the same way. I think that one way of looking at knowledge and wisdom is that knowledge gives us an awareness of facts. Perhaps wisdom helps us know what to do with them. If they are done well and respectfully, I sometimes find listening to debates on topics a useful way of learning. And it is my hope that as we continue to look at Ecclesiastes this week and some of the inner debates of the teacher, we may find some ancient wisdom that could help us.
I work and I toil when I sow in the soil I reap. I plant and I build and I tend to the fields and I sleep. Wealth I have gained, I've acquired some fame, but I grieve. Adventures I seek, I indulge in all things, but I still weep. All is vanity, as far as I can see. All is vanity. And now it's clear to me that generations come and generations go. The young never consider that they will be old. The sun rises and falls as the wind blows. Again and again as history unfolds. And if I chase the wind, if I follow the sun, I discover the place that I started from. If the pleasures I seek are just of my flesh, I generations go. For now I am young, but soon I'll be old. The sun rises and falls as the wind blows, again and again and again and again and again. And if I chase the wind, if I follow the sun, I discover the place that I started from. If the pleasures I seek are just of my flesh, I am left to conclude all is meaningless.